Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm Zachy, and today we're going to dive deep into a topic that affects millions of people worldwide, but often gets overlooked: depression. Now, we all know what depression is, right? Or at least we think we do. But here's the catch. Sometimes people don't even realize they're depressed. Crazy, right? You might be wondering, how is that possible? Well, today we're going to break it down and explore why so many people don't recognize the signs of depression and what we can do about it. Stick around, because this is something you don't want to miss. All right, before we get into the thick of it, let's quickly talk about what depression really is. It's more than just feeling a little down after a bad day. If you ever found yourself feeling completely drained, disinterested in things you normally enjoy, or struggling to even get out of bed, then that's when we're talking about something more serious. Clinical depression, or major depressive disorder, is a mental health condition that involves persistent feelings of sadness, hopelessness, and a lack of energy. But here's where it gets tricky. Depression doesn't always look the same for everyone. You might think depression always comes with uncontrollable tears or sadness, but it's not always like that. Some people may experience physical symptoms like headaches, stomach aches, or even muscle aches. And other times, it's just a sense of feeling off, like you're stuck in a funk that doesn't seem to end. This is why so many people go through their day-to-day lives without even knowing they're dealing with depression. So, why do so many people miss the signs of depression? Well, one big reason is denial. We live in a world that constantly tells us to push through and be strong. And while that's great advice for many things, it can be a major barrier when it comes to mental health. We're conditioned to think that acknowledging we're struggling means we're weak. But here's the truth. Admitting that you're not okay doesn't make you weak. It makes you incredibly strong. But still, denial is a huge hurdle. Another reason why we might miss the signs is that we normalize how we feel. Maybe we have one bad week, then another, and then another. Over time, we start to just accept feeling tired, empty, or disconnected as part of our routine. We think, hey, everyone feels this way sometimes. But what we don't realize is that it's not just a phase anymore, it's depression. Another big issue with depression is that it's often invisible. I mean, you can't see depression like you can see a broken arm or a cold, right? And here's the thing. A lot of people who are dealing with depression look perfectly fine on the outside. They're going to work, hanging out with friends, putting on that smile, and yet inside, they're fighting a battle that no one can see. It's like wearing a mask that looks like everything is okay, when in reality, it's far from it. And that's why so many people can't recognize the signs, because it doesn't always scream for attention. And sometimes, the struggle feels even lonelier, because you might be surrounded by people who have no idea what you're going through. So, how do we actually recognize depression, especially when it's sneaky and quiet? Well, if you're feeling consistently hopeless, emotionally drained, or like the things you used to enjoy just don't bring you the same joy anymore, those could be red flags. But it's not just about how you feel emotionally. Depression can also show up physically. Have you been feeling unusually tired, having trouble sleeping, or dealing with digestive issues? Maybe you've noticed changes in your appetite, either eating too much or not eating enough. These physical symptoms aren't just bad luck or coincidence. They could actually be signs of depression. So, it's super important to listen to your body and not just chalk up these things to stress or a bad week. If you notice these signs, it's time to take a step back and ask yourself, am I really okay? Now, let's talk about what we can do about it. It's not enough just to recognize the signs. We need to take action. And the first thing I want to stress is don't be afraid to ask for help. I know it can be intimidating, and maybe you feel like you should be able to handle it on your own. But that's just not true. Getting help is not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of bravery. Whether it's talking to a friend, reaching out to a therapist, or just opening up to someone you trust, asking for help is the first step in feeling better. And don't think that asking for help always means you have to jump straight into therapy or medication. For some, that might be the right path, but for others, it's about finding small, manageable ways to cope. Maybe that's journaling, practicing mindfulness, getting outside for a walk, or even trying something creative to express yourself. Everyone's journey is different, But the important thing is to take that first step. All right, that's a wrap for today. I hope this video gave you some clarity on why depression can be so hard to recognize and why it's often so sneaky. But just because you don't realize it right away doesn't mean it's not there. If you or someone you know might be struggling, don't hesitate to reach out for help. You're not alone in this. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Your support truly means the world to me. And hey, if you want more conversations like this, make sure to hit that subscribe button and join me here on @Zachaprat. You've got this, and we're all in this together. Catch you next time